Three. Hamjambo, jina langu ni Abdulkarim. Welcome to our lesson today. In this lesson, we will learn basic tenses in Swahili. Basic tenses. And we'll focus on the present tense positive forms. But I will introduce you to these tenses and then we will learn the present tense sentences in the positive form. So let's get started. Here we have basic Swahili tenses. The first one here is wakati uliopo. Wakati uliopo simply means the present tense. Wakati uliopo. It is represented by the marker na. Okay? And then the second tense is wakati uliopita. Wakati uliopita is the past tense. Wakati uliopita. It is represented by the marker li. And then lastly we have here wakati ujao. Wakati ujao is the future tense. Future tense. Wakati ujao, the future tense. Sawa? This is represented by the marker ta. We also have other tenses, so in Swahili, but we call this nyakati. Nyakati are the tenses. Nyakati. Nyakati are the tenses. So these are the three tenses. We call them nyakati. The other tenses in Swahili we call them hali. Hali. Let me start here. Hali. Hali. The other tenses we call them hali, but these are basic tenses. Okay. So I will try to read for you these examples, and you can try to tell me from this if it's present tense, past tense, or future tense. So we have the first one here. Mimi ni na soma. This means I am reading. So ni na soma. Just look here. It's wakati uliopo, present tense. Sawa? Ni na soma. Mimi nilisoma. Ni li soma. I read. Mimi nilisoma. Is this present tense, future tense, or past tense? Nilisoma. Check here. Wakati uliopita, past tense. Okay? And then lastly, mimi nitasoma. Nitasoma. I will read. Nitasoma, I will read is future tense. Wakati ujao. Wakati ujao, future tense. You can remember this by writing li na ta. Li means past, then na here present, then ta future, because the position of these prefixes in this word linata. Li for the past, na now, ta future. But you can see I didn't arrange this way. This is nalita. But just know that li is past, na is present, and ta is future tense. So, future tense. We'll go ahead and continue with the present tense. The present tense, and you will learn how to conjugate the verb. How you can bring the verb with the prefixes to make a sentence in the present tense. Here. Wakati uliopo. Present tense. Wakati uliopo, and remember it is represented by the marker na. Okay? Na. So we have these two verbs. We'll use one of the verbs here as an example. Kusoma, to read. Kusoma, to read. Okay? Kusoma. The other one is kuandika, to write. Kuandika, to write. So we'll have Mimi is me. Remember, in Swahili, words and other types of words are sometimes represented by the prefixes only. Like here we talked about these prefixes that represent the tenses. These prefixes. Now here we have the personal pronouns. Mimi, wewe, yeye, sisi, nyinyi, and wow, wow, wow. So mimi, me, wewe, you, yeye, him or her, sisi, we, nyinyi, you all, and wow, they. So for this mimi, the prefix that is representing mimi is this ni here, ni. Okay? The prefix that represents wewe is u, u. The prefix that represents yeye is a. The prefix that represents sisi, we, is tu. And the prefix that represents nyinyi is m. The prefix that represents wao, they, is wa. Now let's see. When we are conjugating the verbs to make a sentence in the present tense, remember the verb is kusoma, to read. This verb kusoma is in infinitive form. So it has ku, it's starting with ku. This is equivalent of to in English. Therefore, when you're making a sentence in the present tense, you omit this ku. You remove the ku and it becomes soma, which means read, not to read. So we start here. First thing, we remove the ku, okay? Then we put the ni here. Mimi, ni, then the present tense marker is here, na. Ni, na, nina. Then the verb soma without the ku. Nina soma, nina soma. I am reading. Nina soma. You can say mimi nina soma or nina soma. It implies the same thing. What I mean is either you can remove this mimi and just say nina soma, or just say mimi nina soma. It's okay. So, wewe, you. U for you, na for the present tense, then soma. Una soma. You understand? Wewe una soma. You are reading. Yeye, he or she. A, the prefix that represents yeye, okay? Yeye, a, then the present tense for the present tense. The marker for the present tense is na. Yeye ana soma. Ana soma, okay? Sisi, we. Tu na soma. Sisi tuna soma. We are reading. Nyinyi, you all. Na soma. Nyinyi mnasoma. You all are reading. We have wao, wa, na, soma. Wao wanasoma. They are reading. Wao wanasoma. We can have another example with kuandika, to write. And I will erase this place. Mimi. Okay. Yeah. Mimi ninaandika. Mimi ni na andika. I am writing. We have here for ni. Then we have here na for the present tense. Then the verb andika, like this. Sawa? The verb is andika. Nina andika. Wewe. Wewe. Wewe, u, na, andika. You are writing. We have three. Yeah. Yeye ana andika. He or she is writing. Yeye ana andika. 4. Sisi. Sisi tunaandika. We are writing. Sisi tunaandika. 5. Nyinyi. Nyinyi mnaandika. You all are writing. Nyinyi mnaandika. Let's have 6. Wao wanaandika. Wao wanaandika. They are writing. Wao wanaandika. These are the verb andika and soma in the present tense. We've just tried to conjugate these verbs in the present tense. So, like I can say, I've been teaching Swahili for several years, but whenever I teach the present tense, I mention this, but students forget, and they still, when I say, okay, we've covered these examples, I tell students, now present an example. I provide another verb, and I tell you, make a sentence with this verb in the present tense. So the students end up forgetting to remove this ku, and they write Nina. Let's say I give kusoma, the student go ahead and write Nina kusoma. Nina kusoma is incorrect. It will mean another meaning. You know, when you don't remove this ku, it will imply another thing. So it's better to remove the ku. When I say Nina kusoma, it means I'm spying on you. So that's why we remove the ku. The ku has different meanings. So for the present tense conjugation, we remove the ku. We have some verbs that retain the ku in the present tense when you're conjugating. These verbs are called monosyllabic verbs, and there are about 9. And out of these 9, about 3 of them or 4 are mostly used. So we'll learn how we can conjugate these monosyllabic verbs in the present tense. Yeah, hapa sawa. We have here. The verbs are la. When I say la, what does it mean la? When I tell you la, you will not understand. La means eat, but it doesn't make sense when I just say la. We have to add the ku so that this verb makes sense. So it becomes kula. Okay? Another one is ja. Like I just tell you ja hapa, come here. You know, you don't say ja hapa. We need to add ku to make it kuja hapa, come here. But if I say soma, read, you will read. But if I say ja, you not come here because you don't understand it. So we have to add ku and say kuja. These are monosyllabic verbs. Kuja. Another one is here. Like, I tell you, nywa maji. I want to mean drink water, but you won't understand if I say nywa maji. You know, we have to add here kunywa maji, drink water, kunywa. Okay? These are 3 of them. We have another one is kuwa. We write here wa. If I tell you wa hapa, be here, I'll say kuwa hapa, not wa hapa, because it doesn't make sense. Kuwa hapa. Okay? when we are conjugating these verbs, we will retain this ku in this form in the present tense. Positive forms. Examples. Kula, I will write nina kula. Nina kula. Ninakula. Mimi ninakula, wewe unakula, yeye anakula, sisi tunakula, nyinyi mnakula, wao wanakula. Yeah, let's add the word chapati. Mimi ninakula chapati. I am eating chapati. Wewe unakula chapati. You are eating chapati. Yeye anakula chapati. He or she is eating chapati. Sisi tunakula chapati. We are eating chapati. Nyinyi mnakula chapati. You all are eating chapati. Wao wanakula chapati. They are eating chapati. You know, when I say chapati, like one person from England came here to Kenya and he bought chapati. So he asked, what is this? We told him it's chapati. When he tasted, he started saying chapai. Instead of chapati, he said chapai. It's famous on TikTok, so you can check. Okay, same to this. Kuja, ninakuja, I am coming. Unakuja, you're coming. Anakuja, he or she is coming. Wanakuja, like this, okay? Kunywa, ninakunywa, I am drinking. Unakunywa, you are drinking. Anakunywa, he or she is drinking. Tunakunywa, we are drinking. Mnakunywa, you all are drinking. Wanakunywa, they are drinking. Kunywa. Kuwa, this one is ninakuwa, I am being, like ninakuwa hapa, I'm being here. Unakuwa hapa, you are being here, like this, and so on. So for these monosyllabic verbs, we don't remove the ku when you're conjugating in the present tense positive forms, okay? Now I want to give you assignment. Just write in the chats or write in the comment section. Conjugate these verbs. Kuongea. I don't expect you to make the same mistake that some of my students make because they haven't understood well. If you haven't understood well, you can ask in the chat. I haven't understood, I can repeat, I can make another video. Make this kuongea with different personal pronouns, okay? When I say personal pronouns, it's mimi, wewe, yeye, sisi, nyinyi, wao, okay? Kuongea. 2, kula, okay? You make examples, sentences, with conjugating this verb kuongea and kula in the present tense. What I expect from you is 12 sentences, because 6 for this, 6 for this, using the 6 personal pronouns in each. Okay? Sawa, basi kwaheri. In our next lesson, we will learn negating these present tense sentences. If I want to say, I am not eating, I want to say, I am not writing, I want to say, I am not reading, okay? We will learn the negation and we also learn asking question. Are you eating? Are you writing? Unakula? Unaandika? Sawa? Kwaheri, tutaonana baadaye.